Hi everyone, welcome back to Database Management System lab session. In today's video, we will be covering the concept of triggers. I'll show you how to create various triggers. So let us try to understand this triggers concept with some points. So what is Oracle PLSQL? So triggers are part of Oracle's PLSQL. PLSQL stands for Procedural Language Extension of SQL. So what is this? So Oracle PLSQL is an extension of SQL language that combines the data manipulation power of SQL with the processing power of procedural language. So why we are combining the SQL with the procedural language is to create super powerful SQL queries. So PLSQL means instructing the compiler what to do. Okay, so with the power of SQL, so SQL only tells you what to do. So you'll be writing a query and telling that I want this, I want this. So SQL queries will just tell what to do. So with the help of procedural way, you also will be telling how to do. So combining, instructing the compiler what to do through SQL and how to do through procedural way is nothing but Oracle's PLSQL. And in PLSQL, all the procedural concepts will be there. For example, data types will be there, variables will be there, collections, loops, then stored procedures, exception handling, packages, cursors, then triggers. So triggers are examples of PLSQL, procedural language. So meaning that you can write procedural language in the triggers. Triggers can be inbuilt, like we don't know, they implicitly are triggered by your execution engine. So naturally they come, okay, so which you won't be knowing. Sometimes you get some certain errors, right? Those are generated, those are triggers generated by your execution engine. So straight away let us come to the point of what is a trigger. So triggers are stored programs which are automatically executed or fired when some event occurs. So this is the definition of trigger. So triggers are stored programs because they are PLSQL programs. They are stored programs which are automatically executed. Say automatically executed. For example, if you are writing a procedure, you explicitly need to call it. But here triggers are not, we needn't call it. They automatically get fired when an event occurs. So what is the event here? Okay, so the events can be like it can be a data manipulation command, or it can be data definition command, or it can be some database operations. So these can be the events. Like data manipulation language commands, like whenever there is a delete or insert or update, and whenever creating or altering or dropping the table, or like database operations like server error or log on, log off, startup or shutdown. So these can be defined on a table. So the triggers can be defined on a table or a view or a schema or a database with which the event is associated. So this is meant by a trigger, and let us look into the syntax of creating a trigger. How can you create a trigger? So the create keyword is used. So we are saying create or replace. So this or replace is optional here. You can directly say create trigger, but why we are saying or replace is because in case if you want to delete the old trigger and create a new trigger with the same name, this or replace will help you. Okay, so if you want to replace an existing trigger or create a new one, so it will work like both. So with the trigger name, so here we are giving the trigger name. So create or replace trigger with the trigger name. So this upper name here is the trigger name, and then we are saying before insert. Okay, so these are the timings, okay, when you want to fire the trigger. As I said, like what is the definition of the trigger? Like I said, the definition is like it is a stored programs which are automatically executed or fired when some event occurs. So I told you the events can be data manipulation language and all that. So data manipulation commands are insert, delete and all that. So before insert, after insert, before delete, after delete, and before update, after update. So these are the 6 possibilities that we are talking about, and that tells us the timings when the trigger should be fired. So whenever there is since we said before insert, so whenever there is an insert, before inserting it into the database, it will check for this condition. If I say after insert, after inserting into the database, this trigger will be fired. So likewise before delete and after delete, and before update and after update, so they will be fired before the operation takes place. So this is regarding the timing, and the next one, you can also have the combination of. So here I said before insert, I can also say before insert or update, or I can say delete. So I can use all these combinations over here, separated by or. And the next one is on table. So I am mentioning the table name, on which table I am applying this trigger. I can also mention the column name by saying of column name. For example, in the sailors table I have a age, right? So I can say before insert of age on sailors. Okay, so this I can write if I want to. I can mention the column name also here. And then so I have mentioned the column name, and then I am saying for each row. For each row will execute for the row that is inserted. If I ignore this for each row, it will be considered to be a statement level trigger. So the statement level triggers are the table level triggers. They work on the table, bulk on the table. So updations will be done bulk on the tables. So this will be done only on one insert. So the next is the PL/SQL query. So I am writing the PL/SQL query with a begin and end. So here you can see that I have some keyword over here, which is new and all that, followed by the attribute from the sailors. In the sailors you have S name, right? Before this I have some new over here. So these are called as the referencing variables. So for example, if you are trying to update, okay, so if you are trying to update, so you will be having a old name and the new name, right? Say for example, I want to change the age of the sailor from 20 to 25. It is wrongly entered, so you just wanted to update the age from 20 to 25. For the sailor 22, okay, so for the sailor 22. Now what you are doing, you already have the old value, which is 20, and the new value is 25. So to refer to the old value of the age and the new value of the age, so SQL provides you with the old and new reference variables. So you can use this old and new for referencing the old value and the new value. And then I just said end and a semicolon. So this is how I create a trigger. In the similar way, you can create a triggers if you want to for after insert. Then what will happen after insert is, like you might be wondering, like I am saying before insert, after inserting into the table, it will check for the condition. If the trigger condition, okay, so becomes true, then what happens is it will roll back. So after inserting, it is roll backing. Okay, so if it is not satisfying, it will roll back. So that's the reason it is good that we always use the before timing, because after inserting into the table, then roll backing is not a good idea. Trigger code. Okay, so how many lines should be the trigger code? Here the trigger code should not be more than 32K or 60 lines. So it is not like a specific, very specific that it should be strictly 60 lines, but it should not exceed, like 60 lines is just an nominal answer that I am giving you, that it should not be more than that 60 lines. Any SQL query that you write hardly will be 3 or 4 lines. But here, since we are adding the procedural flavor into it, you can just have triggers for 60 lines or less than 60 lines. Okay. So I have created a trigger on the sailors database. So you can see I have used the create or replace here, and this is the trigger name. Upper name is the trigger name. So I said I use the syntax create or replace trigger and then the name of the trigger, and then this is the time of the trigger firing. It fires implicitly. Okay, we needn't call it. Whenever there is an insert, before the insert operation, the trigger will be automatically fired by your database. So we mentioned the time. You can also have the combination like before insert or delete or update, all that combinations you can have, or insert and delete you can have, that combinations you can have. But based on the combination your logic should be okay, fine. And I'm giving this trigger on the sailors database, so I just mentioned on sailors, and I also can mention the column name here of column name. I don't want, so I didn't mention for each row. Then I said begin, so this is how you write the PLSQL query. Okay, so including in the query, so I said begin, and then I said new dot sname is equal to upper new dot sname. So since this is before insert, so before insert means that before putting the tuple, okay, so insert will actually add data into the database. Before adding the data into the database, the trigger, whatever we are asking the trigger to do, that action will be performed. So we are asking the trigger to actually convert the sname value to uppercase. So and then put it in the table. So what it will do, first it will convert the value into uppercase and then it will put it in the database. So this is the before insert. And remember that for the insert operation, I mean before insert, like old value will not be there because you are inserting the new one, right? So there is no old value. So the old and the new reference variables will be only for the update. Okay, so if you are talking about delete, so the delete will not have a new reference variable, right? So something in the table you are deleting. So this update and update only will be having this old and the new one. For insert, before insert you will be having the new keyword can be associated. For delete you can associate old one. Okay, so this is regarding this. And then I said, so this is the syntax begin and end. Okay, in between this I can write loops, I can write for, I can write if, whatever I want I can include here. And if you want any variables to be used, you need to use the declare keyword. So before this begin I should say declare, and you can declare the variables that you need to perform some computations here in the begin in this particular trigger. So this is the trigger. So I will run this trigger and show you. So you can see that trigger created, but the trigger will not execute. When this trigger will be fired, it will be there. It is, that's why we are saying it is a stored procedure. So it will be there in the database, this trigger, but it will be waiting for the time. Okay, so what is the time? The time is before insert. So whenever there is an insert, on which table? On the sailors table. Before insert on the sailors table, whenever the user is trying to insert some data into the table, this trigger will be fired automatically by your execution engine. So let me show you the sailors table. So this is the sailors table. So this is all the data inside the sailors table. You can find that there is no Ricky in the table. Now I will insert Ricky and show you how it is converting into uppercase. So this is my insert command. So I said insert into sailors values 10 Ricky, 9 and 20. So when I execute this, the trigger is fired. Okay, so before putting it into the database, what it did is one row inserted. So this is the output of this. Now let me show you this select star from sailors. You will understand it better. So you can see that Ricky is added and all the characters in this sname are in uppercase. Okay, all the characters are in uppercase. That's what we want this trigger to do, right? You can perform whatever you want. You can say increment the salary. Okay, so based on the date. Okay, so in case if the date, system date has changed 6 months, 6 months, if there is an increment, so automatically if 6 months are over from the date that you have given, so automatically give a 1,000 rupees increment or whatever, like any trigger that you can write. Let me give you an example of trigger, practical example. So you will be creating your email right freshly. If you create an email account, So as soon as you open your inbox, there will be one mail inside your inbox. That mail will be like based on your values that you have given. Say for example, I created a new email account. So it will say, welcome Sudha, for thank you for choosing this email account. And so this is how we'll be getting a welcome message from the email domain. So that is a trigger. Okay, so whenever, what is the trigger? The trigger is whenever so Gmail, for example, take Gmail accounts. So there will be so many people using the Gmail, and they will be put in a table. Like whenever a new account is created, the data is put in the table. So whenever a new entry is inserted into the table, this trigger will be fired, and the trigger will send an email notification to the newly created mail. So that is an example of the trigger. Okay, so I hope you understood this trigger. Let me show you creating another trigger. So this is trigger to restrict deleting. Okay, so this is to restrict the deleting. So this will restrict the deletion of the sailor, which is SID is equal to 10. Say that you don't want to delete a person from the table or that data from the table, so you can create a trigger. So whenever the delete operation happens on that particular person, a trigger will be generated. So I said create or replace trigger, and the name of the trigger is no delete and after delete. So I am saying after delete on sailors for each row. Then I am saying begin. Okay, so this is my PLSQL. I am saying begin. So inside the begin, as I said, like you can write all the procedural constructs, if and all that you can use. So I am saying if then old.sid is equal to 10. I told you for delete you can use this old reference, but you cannot use the new one. For insert you can use the new reference, you cannot use the old one. For update you can use both new and old. So here I said if old.sid is equal to 10, then raise application error. So what is this raise application error is, for example, you are working in a very big company, and say for example it's an Amazon or Flipkart or whatever. So during the transactions, maybe some errors people will get. If you don't have error number, the description of the error will be so much, 2 or 3 lines. So every time you cannot write all the description to the people. For example, we are having a code for page not found. Okay, so page not found, whenever you get this so whenever sometimes you may be browsing for a website and suddenly you will be having this page not found, 404 error. So that 404 error, you can say like I got page error 404. Okay, so there is some code associated with the error description, because it is easy for us to understand. Every time you need to give the description. So in the same way, for the users, certain numbers have been given, and those numbers are from 20,000 to 20,999. Okay, so that number is from 20,000 till 20,999. So 1,000 numbers are given for error code. So you can put any of that for a particular error. For example, you are saying 20,015. So 20,015, if I say to somebody in my company, they'll understand that it is regarding deletion of a row. So you can associate error code over here. So this is considered to be an error code, and which is user defined, and it should not cross this range. If it crosses this range, then it will show you another error. Okay, so and I am giving a description that you cannot delete this row, and I am ending the if, and I am ending the uh, PLSQL procedural code. So I said end. So this is no delete trigger. So let me create this trigger. Oh, okay, you can see that the trigger created. So trigger is created. Now let us check, okay, whether the trigger is fired or not. So we already have inserted Ricky into the table, so whose ID is SID is 10. Now let us try to delete Ricky from the table, and what will happen we'll see. Okay, so see here friends, you are getting an error, right? So that you can see the error, so which is 20,015, and what I have written there is appearing here. So I said you cannot delete this, okay, this row, and this is all related to your execution engine. So this is the error that you are getting, okay, so which means 20,015 you cannot delete this row, so that error is raised. So you cannot delete this 10 unless and until you drop this trigger, or else 10 will stay in the table. Okay, so this is another trigger that I have created. So you can see like why I have created this trigger is to program to indicate invalid age. If sailor's age is more than 65, condition using trigger. So we are using this condition, we are using a condition inside the trigger, and we are saying that sailor's age is more than 65, then we are saying raise an exception. Okay, so age limit exception. Now we are saying create or replace trigger age limit. The name of the trigger is age limit, and before insert on sailors for each row. And then here I said when. Okay, I am using a clause here which is when, and I am saying new dot age is greater than 60. So because I said it is insert, you will be using new dot age is greater than 60, then begin. Okay, so if this condition satisfies, then raise the exception, else like insert. So if it is less than okay, so more than 60, okay, or more than 65, whatever, okay, so then raise a trigger. So trigger is fired if the age is greater than 65, and this error is put. What is the error? 20,998, and it is showing, it will say invalid age. So I have written this error invalid age. So let me create this trigger. So see here, so it is telling trigger created. Okay, so now let us see whether the trigger is fired when I try to insert some data. So I said insert into sailors values, where 45 is the SID, Das is the name, and 9 is the rating, and 75 is the age. So now see, age is greater than 65, so it is 75. Okay, so now let us see whether the trigger will be fired or not. So you can see the trigger is fired. So it is saying error, and this is the error code that I have given, 20,998, error invalid age. So it is telling error invalid age. So the trigger will not allow this person to be inserted into the table. If there are already something, because this trigger is created after inserting Ricky and Bob and all that, whose age is less than 65, that will not be affected. So this is again another very important interview question. If these triggers are applicable only to the new data that you try to insert and do something, already existing data in the table, it won't touch. Okay, unless and until you write something in the update trigger. Okay, so it will be applicable only to the new ones. And the next one is write the same. I am writing the same trigger in a different way. Okay, so how I am writing? So I am saying, so this is a before insert on sailors, begin, wherein in that case I have used when, right? I said when age is greater than 60. Now here I am saying if. Okay, so if age is greater than 60 or 65, then I am saying okay, 65. Okay, so then I am saying age greater than 65, then raise application error, and this is what I am writing. Whatever you want you can write here. Okay, so in this single quotes you can write whatever you want, you can write. So I have I mean end if and end over here. So let me create the trigger. Okay, so trigger created. So trigger is created. Now if I check the insertion on a different person, so you can see like the name can be duplicate. So I am giving the age to be 55. Okay, so this 55 will be inserted. So you can see that row is inserted because the trigger is not fired, because the age is 55, which is less than 65. Now I'll try to insert somebody who is greater than 65, we are saying, right? Even for 65 it should throw me an trigger will be fired. So I'm taking this data and let me fire this. Okay, so you can see the error is the trigger is fired saying that invalid age. Okay, so this is how I create triggers. And to see all user defined trigger details, okay, how can you see that? I have created many triggers, right? So to see all the user defined triggers, I'll say select star from user underscore triggers. So it will go into this user triggers table. So this users triggers is a table, so all the user defined triggers will go into that table. So as soon as I execute this, so you can see here that age limit is the trigger I created, and I what is the trigger type before each row, then triggering event, insert, table owner. So it's the name of the person. So here I'm using Oracle Live SQL, it is giving the owner like this. And then this is the type, it's a table, then name of the table, then column name. If I have mentioned it in the trigger, it will show me here. So the referencing names, and then you can see, okay, so all this it is showing me the description of the trigger. And action type, you can say it is PL/SQL. Okay, so you can see procedural language SQL. Then this is the trigger body, and all these are done. Okay, so it is showing me fired, whether it is fired, yes it is fired, so it is showing me here. Okay, so all these are all the descriptions regarding age limit is a trigger I created, no delete is a trigger, upper name I have created. So all these are the triggers that I have created, and you can see it in the user trigger table. Okay, and the next one is if you don't want all the information, because I said star, right? So all the information I got, but I just want the trigger name. So you can see in here, like I just want the name of the trigger. So the column is, there is one column here which is trigger name. So you can simply, whatever you want, you can project from this particular table. So I'm just saying select a trigger name from users trigger. Okay, so I'll be getting only the names. Okay, so if you just want to drop them and want to know what are the names of the triggers, so you can just project only the trigger name. And in the similar way, I am saying I want the description, trigger body from the users, and where is the trigger name is equal to age. If I just want only one for the description for the age limit, then I am mentioning the trigger name is equal to age limit. See, the normal way, the normal kind of querying that we do on the normal tables, you can do on the trigger table also, user triggers table also. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just projecting the columns, and I'm trying to see the entry information, all that I'm trying to do. So all that is applicable even on the triggers. Okay, so trigger table. Okay, so what's the name of the trigger table? Users triggers is the name of the table. And then so here in I am saying select these things from users triggers. So it will just select all those and show it to me, all the data of everyone. Okay, so I'm just projecting certain things which are needed for me. And the last very important point is like to delete particular user defined trigger. Okay, so sometimes after that you don't want, you want to insert sailors whose age is greater than 65 also, but if that trigger is active, it will not allow you to actually insert sailors whose age is greater than 65. So in that cases, you may want to delete the trigger or drop the trigger for that particular time. You can do it. Okay, so you can say drop trigger. So this is the command, drop trigger and the name of the trigger. So I'm dropping this age limit trigger. Okay, so when I execute this command, so it is saying trigger dropped. That's it, friends. These are all the triggers that I have created on the Sailor database. You can explore, create your own triggers. Hope this video is helpful to you. Thank you.